Next message.
Met you in Houston, patrol from Atlanta, New York from Pennsylvania, something. Fuck, all I know is you hot, you know this, you make it easy to blow this, you know this thing. Hurricane that ass for me, shaped like a glass for me. It's like I knew what I liked.
It's the next day. I'm still in the bed. I most definitely woke up with the headache right here. I looked in the mirror. This eye had redness. And I flashed back to yesterday, and she was explaining where her headache was right here. And I looked at her eyes, and her eyes were red, exactly how my eye was red. So, this is crazy. Like, I can't believe, like, this whole time, like, we've been ingesting this stuff. Because, like, all night long, I was coughing. And I wasn't just coughing. I was hacking coughing. And as I'm hacking coughing, in my fucking sleep, I'm like, is this why I was coughing earlier this week this way? Because this wasn't my first time coughing like this at night. Like, about a good 2 nights in a row, probably Tuesday and Wednesday, I was hacking my brains out coughing. And because I have asthma, I really thought nothing of it because the way the weather's been changing. And normally when the weather change, depending on that's when she'll kind of like act up a little bit. But these last few coughs, they were hostile coughs, like really coughing, where like there was no just getting up and drinking water type of shit. Like, I literally had to let that shit out type of stuff. And it happened last night, and I'm like, wow, I probably was coughing this whole time as well. So, I just really wanted to speak on this because even after me recording the things I recorded and being on the phone, he checked on me. Like, even more things came into fruition that occurred that day. Because I think it was my last client I was working on. It had to be that last client. One of the client's husbands that came and smelled the smell, I saw him walk by again way later that night. And when I seen him, my first thought was like, why is he still over here? And I see him specifically walk by and look to see if we were still open, like literally. And in talking tonight, I'm like, I feel like that was our anonymous call. Like, that was, yet another angel that it turns out all 3 of us were praying that whole fucking day. We were all praying different things, but when I tell you the power of prayer and the power of prayer when 3 people are praying on something, yeah, like, we've had 2 angels to date that, like, potentially had our backs. And it's just so crazy because, about her customer's husband, I start feeling this wave of worry coming from his wife. Like, oh my God, I'm about to cry. Like, I start feeling her energy that this lady was worried about us all day. And this is why it's important to talk it out with people, because that's when I realized, like, how serious this really, really, really was. Like, I knew it was something going on, but I didn't realize how serious this was until I went in that bathroom and I felt that heat. Like that heat, that power of that heat was no joke. And even with me talking to the girls, I'm like, something could have been trapped trying to find its way out. And it's like, there's no telling at this point where or what could have happened, or where if a fire or an explosion would have happened. There is no telling where exactly it could have happened, because it was traveling. Like in talking, I realized that it started to travel. So it was getting very intense yesterday. And the reason why it probably got so intense is because we're blow drying all fucking day, and there's at least 3 to 4 people on the predominant side where the break room is and it's coming from. So all of that heat from the day, and then even with me being on over there on that side, that's even more heat added to the problem, and it's traveling. And my first mind was to go smell the men's restroom to see if I smelled that, but I just need to get out of there. So it's just so crazy how like more and more stuff just unfold. But yes, I really feel like this man who walked by again and saw that we were still open, I do feel like he was the reason why that black lady came into the whatchamacallit, because I don't know if I like recalled if I said this properly, but the very first thing is she said she got a call about a fire, and I was like confused on where she got fire from. And even Lana was like, maybe he said that to kind of like, you know, bring awareness, but I was like, no, like fire, there's no reason why I feel like an explosion could have happened, and there's no reason why the term or words that this person may have used is fire if there's really like not, if it's not that serious. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't believe for a second that that was just the wording that someone chose to bring awareness. Like, those words held some truth to it. Like, no matter how anybody keeps trying to downplay this situation, because, you know, it's serious. Like, people are sick because of this. Like, I'm coughing, I have a headache, and I'm reflecting on my whole week where I've had these headaches right here, and they were all very mild. And I even took my blood pressure medicine this morning just to see if that will go away. But even now, as I'm waking up, trying to get out of bed to, you know, do what it is I have to do, even now, like, I'm still coughing. So, yeah, I had to kill him on the cam and say this shit, because it's ridiculous how, yeah, it's just ridiculous on how people really be trying to downplay something that, I'm sorry, it could have really turned out so bad. Like, so bad. So bad. Really, really bad. And it's just so disappointing in this black man. Like, if you didn't want to work, why didn't you? I don't know. Like, because every time he came around the corner and he would see me, he started to fidget. And the first time he started to fidget, I kept wondering why. And talking with, she's the one who noticed that my eyes were droopy. So I was like, when I came around that corner and he saw my face, he saw my droopy eyes, and he knew right then and there. Because as soon as I went and I started working on my customer, he started fidgeting, his legs were moving, he became real irritable and impatient, and he just eventually, he got up and he stormed out. And like, now I'm like, did he see that shit on my fucking face? Like, was I actually the physical proof this whole time and didn't even know it type of shit. And that in itself pisses me off. That pisses me off so badly because that was early in the day where you could have stopped this problem. That was client number, it had to be client number, it's either 2, 3, or 4. But I do know it wasn't that long after I started working that I got that wave of sleepiness. I do know that. So I think, yeah. So maybe around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock-ish, that's when it happened. Because I know for a fact that I believe around 12-ish, maybe 11:30-ish. I know, of course, she came in after me. That's all I know. And yeah, somewhere between 1 and 2 o'clock, this man may have came and literally saw the physical evidence on me and chose nothing. Nothing. So, yeah. This light ain't helping my headache. And I still gotta go take the dog out to walk him. So, I'm about to go try to do that real quick. And so I can get in bed. Because, like, literally, it's dark in here. I don't want no light or anything. Let me talk about divine timing real quick. So it's funny how things play out for you in your life. So I was driving to work yesterday morning and traffic going back towards home. Well, it was traffic and it looked like something was being shut down. So, like, after being stuck in the traffic the other day, like, my first mind was like, you know what? I'm going to take the streetway home tonight. Like, that was my first mind. And it's so crazy because everything happens for a reason. Like, I was meant to see that traffic for a reason. And then way later, a little bit towards the end of the day, I had this one customer. I was doing her hair. Yeah, it was the end of the day. It was my second to last client. And I was doing her hair. And she was real talkative. She was nice. She was sweet. And, you know, I let her have her moment. So she ended up talking about how, like, she eventually, you know, started driving in Houston and, you know, how Houston driving is. And so in the midst of her talking about traffic and all that, I had to stop her and I'm like, oh my God, thank you for reminding me, because I told myself to take the streetway home because I wasn't sure if there was going to be traffic on the freeway going home. So there we go. Already in my head, in my mind. Baby, I'm so happy I took the streetway home. When I tell you God was on my fucking side, God was on my side. When I tell you it was a straight fucking shot home, like no red lights. And even if it was a red light, by the time I even came close to even having to try to stop, that light turned green. When I tell you God had my back, and then it was crazy because all of a sudden, I end up in this area where eventually the third lane merges into 2 lanes. And so I always drive a certain way because there's this big ass hump and I don't want to fuck my car up. So I always end up in the far left lane that's the ending lane. So there's this motorcycle and it's just like clear shot, pave a way for me. And like, I got home so fast. I don't even think it took me 30 minutes to get home. But it's just like everything was working out. Like, I stopping at this point and their light turns red and I can go. I'm getting up on this light and here this motorcycle just like goes and I'm able to just go and just go home and get home. And as I'm driving home, I'm just like, I can't believe how much better I am feeling. Like, wide awake, wide woke. Like, body is not feeling so drained and sluggish. Like, I hate to compare this to like weed, but like yeah, like that's how high the fumes had us. Like they had us high. And even talking on the phone, like she doesn't even smoke. And literally, it sounds like my mom do when she would be on medicine, her pain medicines and stuff like that. That's exactly how it sound. And like when they was talking about going to the emergency room, I was like, yes, absolutely, you need to go because she's sounding just like my mom does when my mom is on pain and she's taking medicine. Like, I had a clear view reference type of shit. And it's like, I'm so happy that I was able to just hurry up and get home. And I was able to get home safely. Like, of course, I was speeding because I'm a speed demon. But I really wanted to get home. Like, that's how bad, like, I was feeling. And I didn't want to run the risk of me getting sick on my way home. Like, that's really why I was, like, driving like a bad shit, like, out of hell because that nauseous feeling that I felt, like it was slightly there. And I'm like, I just need to get home. I just need to get home. And I never threw up, but 100%, like that nauseous feeling was there even later on when I got home. And I couldn't even eat dinner. Like I tried to eat dinner, couldn't eat dinner, took a few bites of dinner, trying to eat on the phone. She barely can eat. To drink some lemon water and something else, and even was just not able to get it down properly in that moment. And it's like, if we're all lying, there's no reason why. Like, if they put us all in an interrogation room separately and they ask us what happened, by the third person explaining the day, there's no denying that there's some truth to what happened today. Like, there's no denying and there's no lying to the truth of how we're feeling. Because me waking up with that headache and me seeing my eye being red, like, there's no irony that that happened like that to two people. There's no irony. And yeah, I wasn't even gonna still talk about this, but I just got off the phone because you just got sick. Even you need to be self-aware and you need to be mindful. Because unfortunately, just like I said in the video, this. So if she really speaking that shit, gonna do it. But get to the point. That's even if they can go in the building. Like, there's no telling. Like, if we can even go in the building. Like, that's what I've been waiting on all morning, is somebody to actually let me know that this problem is solved. Like, I'm not stepping back in that building unless this problem is solved. I don't give a fuck that you don't give a fuck about me, because I don't give a fuck about you. Literally, I'm there to do hair. That's all I care about. That's all I ever cared about. And even in the midst of me talking and thinking, like, literally, I'm already in my head, like, okay, I need to go find me another job. Like, already in my head. But the thing about it is, like, why does it have to get to this point? Because literally, you were just whining and crying about losing all these other people. Okay, let your best workers, basically, let some of your best workers leave you. Like, that shit's gonna go to shits. Because at this point, you back at square one when COVID happened. And we got back from COVID. Like, that's how this is about to be if they don't get their shit together. Like, this dry bar may not even make it. But it just depends on if they stop pussyfooting and actually deal with the problem like they're supposed to. Like, this is just like that shit that happened with the airport and the glitches. Like, if this is even the problem that we've always been having since we opened this shop from the very beginning, like literally, this shit should have been done 4 years ago, whatever the problem is. But hey, it is what it is. I'm not Inspector Gadget. I'm just going to ask, what hell happened? Is it fixed? And go on about my life. But yeah, I'm not having it. Like, headache, it ain't gone away. And I took my medicine, which I never wake up with headaches. I never really do. And even talking on I got my clients like talking about how like this has literally been going on this whole week, and both of us together are like, yeah, we kept wondering why we were so tired all week. And even the headache thing, she mentioned how she kept getting slight headaches throughout the week and trying to figure out what it is. Like, every time I got a headache, I just made myself eat, because I was like, okay, maybe I need to eat. Like, that's all I kept saying all week. So it's like, for them to still be sweeping the shit on the rug, and everybody's saying the same thing. Everybody's saying the same thing. There's just no irony. No irony. So, looks like this is going to be a part 2 to the continuation of this saga. And yeah. Crazy. This is just so crazy. Like, and it's like, it's crazy because I'm not even thinking about it. I'm really not. Like, literally, all I'm thinking about is getting out of bed, go walk my dog. I'm thinking about literally, okay, it's time to go send that text message to this other job to be like, are you still looking? Like, maybe I can start immediately type of shit. Like, yeah. Like, literally, I will go to the grocery store temporarily if I have to. Like, I'm already thinking of that. Like, when I tell you, I'm already thinking of another job. I'm thinking of another job. Like, bills come first, but 100%, like, I'm standing up for myself. And me not calling and not showing, that I feel like speaks volume. And I've already said I'm holding myself accountable, and I will take a write-up, because this would be my first write-up ever. And I'm not going to be, you're not going to make me feel bad about protecting myself. That's one thing I'm not going to allow anybody to do. And even with me sending the video of me literally talking about my day to the manager, like, of course I feel a certain type of way because I'm talking about her and how, I feel these energies and, stuff like that. But it's like, at the end of the day, I'm telling you, like, you failed me. As a manager, you failed me. Like, you're a good manager, yes, but when it comes to the nitty-gritty of the bullshit, you have proven that you are not good management, because management doesn't do this. Even if you did not want to do shit as a manager, you should have came and you should have at least pretended like you was doing something. That would have made me feel better. Even with you just coming and pretending like you was doing the bullshit. And the thing that makes me wonder is, at this point, is, did you smell this smell? Like, you had to have smelled this smell. Because, like, my thing is was this smell really going on Friday, the whole day? Like, that's my question now, is, how long has this smell been like this? Because I came in at 3 o'clock on Friday, and immediately I walked in the break room, put my shit down, walked back out, and by the grace of God, one of my favorite movies on. And I just stood there and I watched that movie until it was unbearable. It was so unbearable. Then, just the smell. So, and I just cannot stop thinking about going in that bathroom and feeling that heat. Like, that heat, there's no denying that something's not right. Like, If you can go into this bathroom and feel the heat from somewhere, yeah. And even if it is the water, like, at this point, it's like, is this water even safe to be washing people's hair? Like, we've been washing people's hair in this water all week long. And it's like, the fuck? Like, whatever this is, it's been in people's head. It's getting into people's system through their hair follicles. Like, now that's like something I'm thinking about just as I'm talking. But yes, that's another little ranty rant. But yeah. Mm. Can't wait to see what this day unfolds. Like, that's what I've been waiting on. I'm like waiting on the cookie to crumble because I know it's gonna crumble. And like, I can hear the defeat of not being heard. I can feel the defeat. And I forgot what the black lady told her last night, but even what the black lady said last night, I was like, remember those words. Like, she is gonna take care of us. Like, even as me thinking about like what's waiting for the salon when the first person arrived, like, I can just see her waiting for the first person to arrive to be like, what is you doing? Take your ass home type of shit. Like, or there's a note, like something. Like, that's all I can think of now at this point is, how is this gonna unfold? Because it's gonna unfold. It is gonna unfold. There's no denying this. You can't sweep something like this under the rug and bullshit your way. And the fact that not one person in management even put a fucking toe into that place yesterday, yeah, that's just disgusting. Because let that be you, it's a whole nother story. Let that have been you in there, oh, yeah, the problem would have been solved. The problem most definitely would have been solved. So, but this what we know. We know these things. This ain't nothing but God putting that confirmation out there, big as day. Big as day. And I just hope that even if this business makes it, I just hope that this situation doesn't destroy the energy in that shop. Because River Oaks energy, baby, that's a hellhole. No one likes going there. Every customer complains about going there. Every customer who comes from said location to our location always like, yes, I'm coming back here. And the thing about it is that says a lot about us as a shop, because the fact that they really not caring about the fact that they have to pay for parking, that speaks volumes on how much the shop is peaceful and how much we're giving the shop quality. Like, that says a lot. And I just hope, for the sake of that it gets solved immediately and not sugarcoated. Because, yeah, the person who could have died most definitely is that person who probably got the sickest and could be the sickest out of us all. But then not even that, like, we could be even more sicker than we think because we've been inhaling this stuff all week. And I know we've been inhaling it all week. Like, too much of the same feeling has happened yesterday that's been an eye-opener for that whole week. Like, that drowsy feeling that I was feeling, I didn't like it then. I didn't like it Saturday. And now it's like, wow, this whole time. This whole time. That headache, that slight headache. I was like, why? Because, like, I don't play when it comes to me and headaches because I have blood pressure. Like, when I tell you, I stay on that shit. I stay on that shit. So me getting headaches and not even being able to place the source of my headache. I can't even say I forgot my medicine because I make sure I take my medicine. I couldn't even say really I needed to eat because I've been on it with making sure I ate my food. Man, it's just like unraveling. But what I've been always saying, what goes up must come down. So this is the part where I just release. I'm not heavy-hearted or nothing about the situation. I'm just releasing, just letting it all out because I don't want to keep thinking about it. And I don't keep thinking about it. But anytime I have to even touch on the subject, like more and more shit just comes to fruition. And I'm okay with that. So, and it's so sad because I really do want to go to work. Like, I enjoy working. I enjoy doing hair. And not even that, I want to do my clients' hair. Like, I have my requests that I want those energies. Like, I enjoy those energies. Those are the highlights of, my Sundays, especially. Like, Sunday is always my day. And it's like, now I'm having to miss my Sunday girls. And my Sunday girls be so happy. Like, really, she was so fucking happy and ecstatic to get her hair done. My old lady, she even found someone to cover her shift to come get her hair done. And she texts me and she's like, I'm about to come see you on Sunday. Happy type of shit. And yeah, I can't even see my girls. Like, that's the only people I would go to work for. Like, I will go to work for my girls. But for the simple matter of fact that I know that shit could possibly explode, I can't see myself stepping foot in that building knowing that I've been exposed to that shit all week, and Saturday, that shit emulsified.
I'm looking for, yeah, it's that bird in the VIP line with the V-time and the East run. Used to drive the Nissan, now she in a Pima. Oh, I'm looking for, yeah, it's that bird in the VIP line with the V-time and the East run. Used to drive the Nissan, now she in a Pima. Oh, wanna.